Professor Crystal, and here at the Mineral Testing Institute. Today we're going to be testing minerals with science. Don't forget the science. Property test number 1, color. The first property we're going to be testing is color. Pyrite, often known as fool's gold, is usually gold. But when exposed to air and wind and water for too long, it can become black. Quartz is a variety of colors. White, pink, white, pink, white, pink, white, pink, white. But remember, children, color is not always the best way to identify minerals.
Let's review. Note the color of the specimen and look for impurities. But color is not always the best way to identify a mineral. And we used pyrite and quartz and examined them.
Property test number 2, luster. Our next test is luster. A mineral can have different kinds of luster. Translucent, transparent, opaque. You know, gypsum alabaster is pearly and earthy, whereas gypsum satin spar is silky and quartz is vitreous, which means glassy.
For luster, ask yourself, does it reflect light? Is it metallic, brilliant, translucent, opaque? Remember, we examined gypsum alabaster, gypsum satin spar, and quartz. Quartz was vitreous, which means glassy.
Property test number 3, streak. Our next test is the streak test. And I don't mean running naked, children. Okay, so I have magnesite and calcite. One is dark and one is light, because this test is usually more successful on darker minerals. Okay, so I'm taking the calcite and rubbing it on a ceramic plate. See if some dust comes off. And look, white dust, which is the same color as the calcite. Now I'm taking the magnesite and rubbing it the same way I did with the calcite. A little dust came out. It's white, unlike the black mineral. Now we're going to examine the streaks with a magnifying mechanism. Indeed, there is a black streak and a white one. We were successful. Property test.
Streak. This determines a color of a mineral in powder form. We looked at calcite and magnesite. Both left a white powder. The magnesite streak was black. Calcite's was white. Of course, this can really help you identify a mineral.
Number 4, hardness. This is our 4th mineral test. We will be using talc and feldspar.
This is Mohs hardness scale. We're using number 1 talc and 6 feldspar.
This is talc. I'm going to scratch it with the nail. It glides gently across. Now I take the magnifying glass and look at the scratch. It's pretty indented. This is a soft rock. This is feldspar. I'm going to scratch it. Whoa, it's bumpy and it grabs on. This must be a hard rock. You can barely see the scratch. This is definitely a hard rock with a toughness of 6.
What did we learn about hardness? We look at Mohs hardness scale, which is really helpful. You can scratch a mineral with an object of more or the same hardness, but nothing less. We use a nail on talc and feldspar.
Property test number 5. Cleavage. This is our 5th test, children. It's cleavage. So, we will be using mica and fluorite. Look how, this is mica. Look how clearly it is in our nice little sheet. See how it's clear? That means it has cleavage. It is in a clear, flat sheet. Now, fluorite is translucent, so we can use my handy-dandy magnifying glass to see the inside. It indeed has planes. That means it has cleavage. Yes, I love science. Yes, I do.
Cleavage. How does the mineral break? If it breaks in a smooth, flat flame, it has cleavage. We saw a piece of mica. It clearly had cleavage. We could see inside the fluorite. It had planes, so it has cleavage too.
Property test number 6. Acid. Our next test is acid, but in place of hydrochloric acid, we're going to use vinegar. And we're going to pour it on hematite and phosphorite. First, we'll use phosphorite. Notice as I pour the vinegar, what happens? Nothing is happening! Hurry! We have to put it on this one. Looks like we were unsuccessful, guys.
The acid test. In place of hydrochloric acid, we used vinegar. But neither hematite or pyrrolite fizzed.
Better luck next time.
Property test number 7. Magnetism. Hi, children. Our next test is magnetism. We will be using graphite, mica biotate, and magnetite. This magnet is going to be used to test the magnetism of these different minerals. This is mica biotate. Nothing. How about graphite? Doesn't seem to be working. Let's hope a magnetite works. And it does! Magnetite is our winner. Property test number
8.
Density. It's already our last property test, but it's density, one of our favorites. Okay, so density is the ratio of the mass of an object compared to the volume of the object. We will use feldspar and some cotton. We have 2 objects of the same size, and the water level is the very first line in the beaker. Let's see what happens when the feldspar goes in. It went above the first line. The water is still at the first line. Now it's time for the cotton. Nothing happened. Wonder why? That was a great test, guys. Okay, so you know what this means? Feldspar has more mass than a cotton roll.
The formula for density is density equals mass over volume. To measure mass, you use a balance with 3 parts. It's kind of complicated. We looked at water displacement. Feldspar made water go up.
Well, everybody, looks like we're done here at the Mineral Testing Institute. I'll see you next time, alright? Remember, I'm Professor Crystal.